And earlier today, our senior NBA insider, Adrian Wojnarowski, he reported that the NBA is postponing the Bulls' upcoming games against the Pistons and the Raptors after a 10th player entered COVID-19 protocols. So Alize Johnson, he joins 9 other Bulls in the NBA's health and safety protocols. That list includes Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Kobe White. Players in the protocols, of course, must enter quarantine for 10 days or return 2 negative PCR tests in 24 hours. So, as I mentioned, Adrian Wojnarowski, you've been all over this reporting, and you now join NBA Today. Thank you for being here, Woj. How did the NBA come to this decision to postpone?
Like really a number of factors, but the list of players you just gave, and the fact that Chicago, who would need 8 eligible players to play, this is just such a skeleton version of a team. And the fact that, listen, players are going to start coming back out of COVID protocol. They may not be ready to play right away. Kobe White was at the facility yesterday trying to ramp back up. And certainly, that the health of not just their players, but other players. You don't want other players on other teams to be exposed to Bull players who may be positive. And, part of this decision, I'm told, too, the Chicago Public Health Department, they did not want to see this Bulls team with 10 players in protocol continue to be out on a court exposed, not just to each other, but other players. And, those were some of the factors, the most significant factors in the NBA postponing Tuesday's game with Detroit, Thursday's game with Toronto. So the Bulls do not play again until next Sunday at home against the Lakers.
So Chicago, we know, though, they're not the only team that's impacted by COVID, but they're feeling it the most right now. Why might we be seeing more cases with the Bulls than other teams across the league, Woj?
Yeah, this has been a dynamic that's, teams talked about from the very beginning of the season that could be an issue, and you're seeing it now. You saw multiple cases in Charlotte. They're starting to get some players back out of protocol. But remember, if players are vaccinated, and really close, almost close to 100% of the players in the league are, 97, 98% now, they don't test every day. So once the Bulls got a positive test with a player, well, then they start testing everybody. So there are plenty of teams, if players have the virus and are asymptomatic and there's no testing going on, they may be playing with the virus because there's not testing with those teams. And so I think for Chicago, Charlotte, I think there was a sense there that they were taking out a bigger brunt of loss of players and having to test every day. Now, starting Friday next week, or this week, if you don't have your booster shot in the NBA, then you'll be tested on game nights. And so I think for the Bulls, because once there was that one positive test, everyone's being tested. And I talked to one GM today who said, listen, we aren't testing now. We haven't been testing. But it isn't as if we see players, who might have symptoms and we're ignoring it. We haven't seen that with our group. But that doesn't mean we haven't had players who are positive who've been on the court.
Absolutely, and we saw the league change one of those protocols with the booster shot now being a necessity in order to be considered fully vaccinated. We'll see if these protocols continue to change and morph, especially as new variants come up.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming, sports, and premium content, subscribe to ESPN+.